All right, when you load your simulator, you're going to get a blank screen, and we're going to build a circuit here. So the first thing we're going to do is grab the components up here in the top left corner. So we are going to grab a battery and just drop it on our workspace there. These are connection points on the end of it. So I'm going to grab a wire and connect a wire there. You can grab another wire and connect it to there, and then you can take the side and drag it and bend it up there. Okay. What we eventually want to do is get a light bulb connected here. So I'm going to grab a couple more wires. So we're going to grab a wire and connect it there. Grab another wire, connect it down to there. And if you're not OCD, you could probably put that and connect it over there. But I like everything nice and square. So I'm just going to get an extra wire and build myself a nice circuit. The last thing we want to do is connect our circuit up here. And so if I drag this onto there, you'll notice the charges start flowing when I have a complete circuit. And so I've got a whole bunch of electrons on this end of the battery that don't want to be there. And when they have an option, they flow through the circuit. They go through the light bulb and produce heat, which causes the filament to glow. And then they go back to the other side of the battery, the positive side of the battery, where they pile up. When all the electrons are finished, the battery's dead. Now this battery has a voltage, and you can see that voltage if you just click right on the battery. Here's the voltage, and you can vary the voltage. So you can make it big or small, and you'll notice as the voltage gets bigger, the current flows faster and the light bulb gets brighter. Okay? If you want to get off of there, just click on your workspace and that'll go away. The last thing we want to do is measure the current, because the point of this lab is to ask, how does the current, the flow, depend on the voltage? So to do that, I'm going to go right here and click on this corner piece, and a pair of scissors appear, and if I click on it, it disconnects there. And as soon as it's disconnected, of course, the current stops flowing because the current needs a complete circuit. And what I'm going to do is on the right-hand side over here, there's an ammeter. So an ammeter is a device which measures current, and I'm going to drop this ammeter in over here. And it doesn't quite line up, so I'm going to move things around a little bit to make sure that everything lines up. And so I'm going to connect my ammeter there. And so what I've done is I've put a current meter, an ammeter, in my circuit so I can measure the current. Because what you are going to do is you're going to vary the voltage of the battery and record the current and look for a relationship between the current. How does the current, the flow of the charges, depend on the voltage, which is the push on the electrons? Okay? Before you start though, you are going to be given a unique problem set or assignment. So you need to set the resistance of your light bulb to whatever your spreadsheet tells you to do. So click on the light bulb itself and you can adjust its resistance. So in the spreadsheet, you put in the month you were born, and it will tell you what resistance to use. Make sure you use that resistance. And once you've got that resistance set, that will be your resistance for the whole lab. Once you've got it where you want it, you can click on the workspace, and that will be the resistance. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click here and vary the voltage. So maybe you'll start with 0 and record the current. Then maybe you'll make the voltage 25 volts and record the current. And you want to investigate the voltage from 0 all the way up to as big as you can make it, which is 120. And so we want, somewhere on the order of about 10 data points or so. So you'll have to decide how much to go up by. You don't have to go by the same amount every time, but you want to cover the entire domain that is available to you, okay? So you'll set the voltage, you'll record the current here, and do that for several different voltages, around 10 or so, and then in your spreadsheet, you will plot your data and see if you can find a linear model. Perhaps you might have to square x, or take the square root, or 1 over x squared, or something. You have to get a linear model, and then you'll have a mathematical relationship between the current and the voltage. So the question is, how does the current depend on the voltage? So again, to edit the voltage, simply click on your battery, set the voltage whatever you want to. Make sure you set the resistance correctly by clicking on the light bulb, and that's not going to change for your lab. Once you've got that set, the resistance of the light bulb won't change. We are only changing the voltage of the battery, the push on the electrons, and measuring how that affects the flow.